I was supposed to watch The Sheep Detectives today, but instead I watched Obsession. And here's what I wrote in my media journal about it. And then I'll elaborate. I'm so cool. I rated it a 4.5 out of 5. It was worth the sneaking, because I snuck in. I was supposed to watch Sheep Detectives, but instead I just went into the theater for Obsession. I was convinced when I heard it was an original work, as in, like, original actors, like, a different story. We're really missing that in cinema. I hate rewrites, I hate sequels, I hate adaptations. I just want something original. I honestly loved it, personal feelings aside. I felt scornful for Bear when it came to his friend Ian, and I wondered why Nikki never told him. As in, like, spoiler alert, Ian and Nikki were hooking up for 2 years, and Ian already knew that Bear had feelings for Nikki, and although it was, like, prefaced, like, oh yeah, like, it wasn't anything romantic, I still felt bad for Bear in that sense, because I was like, damn, like, Nikki didn't talk to him about it, which, okay, she doesn't tell him everything, and then, like, your friend won't tell you about it when he knows you like her, like, that's kind of crazy. I also love the soundtrack. Very nostalgic. I felt like it could be seen as I feel like the movie could have been seen as a metaphor for abusive love and relationships. Who it turns you into and who you become after clarity. Nikki was the real victim. Bear was not wrong for making a wish he didn't know would come true, but he kept her trapped and took advantage of her. Bear's 100% the aggressor and abuser in the metaphorical sense, but in the story, he should have released her long ago. Beautifully done and distinct. By the way, if you're like, wow, Literary Crisis really is that bad? No, my handwriting's just that bad. Beautifully done and distinctly tragic like a Shakespearean. The fact Nikki came back to a ruined life makes me sad for her. The tender moments between obsessed Nikki and Bear were very sad and lovely. I feel bad for Bear, though, through it all, but he kept her trapped. She begged for freedom, and he only said, "Is it so bad to be with me?" Truly an awful tale. Yeah. It's just, at the end of the day, the moment the wish became true and he was cognizant of this and he kept her there, that is when he became the villain. 100%. Because when you love someone, you let them be free, right? Like, the initial reaction to him wanting her to stay and to not go and find genuine love, and that jealousy and that insecurity of, I want her to love me, why doesn't she love me back, is natural and normal and valid. And I don't think Bear was wrong for feeling that. I think he was wrong for then not reflecting and not realizing, well, this is Nikki and I want her to be happy, right? Because at the end of the day, I think Bear loved her, but I don't think he loved her well or enough, because when you love someone, you just want them to be happy. And for him, he only wanted Nikki as a part of his happiness, and that really, really was sad. The moments where Nikki would start screaming in fear and stuff, it was obvious to me that it was like, that it was her kind of coming back and realizing like what's going on, or like breaking free from her. I felt bad for Nikki throughout the entire time, right? Like, I felt bad for her. And Bear, like, although I felt bad for him in a way, I can't defend him, because when he decided to do his, like, his final decision, he had to have realized that he would have left Nikki in a terrible position, right? She was possessed by something, and that something did terrible things, and now she will have to pay for it. And Bear let that happen. He made that happen. Like, he has punished her for not loving him back, and that's so unfair. And the reason I think the story could also be seen as a metaphorical thing for abusive relationships is because Nikki was vulnerable, and then Bear took advantage of that and he fed into it. And then as Nikki reacts to his abuse, which is the entrapment he puts her in, he becomes more and more disillusioned, and he's like, what the hell, right? Until he ruins things for her, ruins her life, and then she comes back to clarity when she's out of this fog of abuse, and she's like, what the hell has happened? Like, who have I become? Right? Because even though she cooked the cat, blah, 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 she's not at all the abuser or the villain in this sense. Bear is, because he should have just undone the wish. He should have just gotten rid of it, right? Like, it's really unfair. His whole thing was, why can't you just love me? Why can't you just let her go? Why can't you love her? Right? Yeah, that's kind of it.